Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Good morning. It is a Taco Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. It is July 23rd, 2019. And in a little bit, I'm going to get to my blog post. Today's topic, your kids and your dreams. Being that it is the 23rd of July, it is my big sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Michelle. Should I sing? Should I do it? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michelle. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Public and everything. Love my big sister. We've had our moments, but we're getting along well now, and hopefully that will remain for the rest of our lives. We have learned, hopefully, how to get through our differences. But yes, we've had some issues in the past. It happens. We're far from the only pair of sisters who have gone a time without talking and have been stubborn. But I love my big sis. We're getting along really good right now. And as I will be talking about, I've mentioned it before. I'm going to talk about it a little bit in my blog post. She is getting ready for an Ironman triathlon competition. Yes. I will be talking a little bit more about that later. So I did it. I went to the Lion King movie. It was time. I went to a noon showing. Now, I had seen that there was an 11:40 movie. That was the first one that they were showing. And I was a little worried that it was going to be busy because it was the first showing. And then I saw that there was one at noon. And I was like, oh, that's only 20 minutes later. So let me try the noon one. Maybe everybody who's jonesing to see The Lion King like I was would go to the first one, and then maybe the second one would be a little more empty, which was accurate. There was no cars practically in the movie theater parking lot when I got there, so that was a good sign. Got my ticket right away. There was a horrendous line for the concessions. So I ended up waiting about 10, 15 minutes to get myself a little bag of popcorn, snuck my soda in. I wasn't the only one because I brought in a can of soda. And, when you bring in a can of soda, you hear the when you open it up. And a little while later, I heard the same noise from someone else. So I'm not the only one sneaking sodas in. It was $7 for a small popcorn. $7 for a small. This is why I sneak in my soda or my water or what have you. I gave them some money. I think they probably made a very good profit off of my $7 bag of popcorn. So, to the movie experience. I was very much looking forward to this, as you all know. And I love live action. I think it's very cool. I think maybe, if you recall, I did talk about one review that said that the emotion didn't come across like it did in the animated version. Here's my thoughts. I think I prefer most of the animated version. There are parts of the live action version or the computer generated version, whatever you want to call it. There are parts of it that I enjoyed more than the animated. Starting with the opening scene. And if you've seen The Lion King, you know what I'm talking about. This is when they present Simba to the jungle. And they show all the animals gathering, walking toward the big rock at Pride Rock. And it was done so well. And it was so a carbon copy of the animated version that, and it just, with the music, it was just very powerful to me, and it literally brought tears to my eyes. I literally was like, okay, you are not crying at the Lion King movie, are you? I'm like laughing at myself, making fun of myself. And then, right after they present Simba, they do that big boom with the Lion King and just in black on the screen. And there was a group sitting a couple of rows up from me, and the one woman just went, wow. So it wasn't just me that felt the power of that moment. It was really awesome. But I have to say, I kind of agree with the review that I had read where, one of the things about The Lion King, the animated version, is the facial expressions. That's kind of what makes it. Like with the very beginning, when they show Mufasa for the first time, he's got this mean look on his face. He looks like this big lion, and, you don't want to mess with him. And then Zazu, the Major Dodo, comes up and bows to him, and then he does a little head bow, and a big smile comes across his face, and you're like, oh, he's not a tough guy. He's an old softy. Look at that big smile. Of course, they didn't do that in the movie because lions don't smile like that. So I did feel it, a little, the animated version is more cute, as it should be. It's supposed to be cute. That's why you have animation, so you could put, emotions and stuff on things that don't normally have emotion. Another thing that I thought was lacking was when Timon and Pumbaa were in the picture, and when Nala and Simba meet for the first time after they're both grown, and they realize that it's each other, and they're like, hey, oh my gosh, how are you? Timon in the animated version is looking at them, and his jaw just drops. He's like, what? What? This lion was just trying to eat us, and now you're hugging her. What's going on? They obviously couldn't get that across in the live action as well. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. I will definitely see it again. I enjoyed it. But, like I said, I think maybe I might prefer the animated version a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Definitely parts of the new version that I liked better, but overall, I think I'm going to have to stick with the animated version. Very good experience, though. I loved going. I loved the movie. It was really great. So I will definitely see it again. I don't know if I'm going to go back to the theater to see it. I don't have good experiences in movie theaters. I'll get to that a little bit later in the topic. So quickly, I just wanted to tell you about this one story that I saw yesterday. It's about seagulls in Ocean City, New Jersey. It is against the law in Ocean City to feed the seagulls. It's funny because I'm reading a book right now, which is called The Guest Book. I've been waiting for this book for the longest time. I guess it's just very popular right now. I've been on this list at the library, and I think I've been waiting for it since like April. And I finally got it through Hoopla, which I don't prefer to read through Hoopla because I've mentioned before, Hoopla I can only read on my iPad or my phone. I can't read it through my Kindle. So I typically try to wait for the e-library to come up with their version. But like I said, I don't even know how much longer it is. I'm a little disappointed in this book. Don't get me wrong. I'm almost done. I'm almost finished it. I'm soldiering on. But I guess that my reading tastes have changed. It's a little hokey to me. It's about this girl, and she's, a single mom, and they go to the beach, and there's all these guys after her. Maybe I'm just jealous because I never had 3 guys after me at the same time. But I don't know. It just seems, even just the way it's written, a little hokey. Just a little hokey. It's okay. It's a nice beach read. That's what it's intended to be. A nice, fun, easy beach read, and that is certainly what it delivers. But in this book, she talks about bringing some extra bread to the beach so she can give it to her daughter to feed the seagulls. And when she's talking to one of the people who live there year-round, he'd said, yeah, we always know the tourists because they feed the seagulls. And we don't feed the seagulls because we think of them as rats with wings. I've mentioned that before. They are rats with wings. Now, apparently, Ocean City has put this law into effect. You can be fined $500 for feeding the seagulls. And the reason is because they've become so aggressive. I mean, and we all know this. We all know somebody who has been eating a hot dog at the beach, and the next thing you know, seagull steals it right out of their hand. I told you the story last week about the guy who put the burgers down on the table outside for a minute, and he came outside, and they were gone. One or more seagulls took all 3 of his burgers. yeah, you kind of can't blame them. I mean, even a dog would do that. But they're even asking the local businesses to give all food in closed containers. I've told this story before about how my sister was basically attacked by a seagull when she had gotten a big bucket of fries. Seagull chased her right into the store. It was horrific. And as soon as the seagulls come when I'm trying to feed the ducks, I stop because I don't want to feed the seagulls. Get away. Get away. Go. Nobody wants you here. I know it seems a little mean, but they're nasty little critters. Nasty. So it depends on what I'm feeding the ducks. If I'm feeding the ducks Cheerios, which I go back and forth, I have Cheerios that I feed them, and I feed them dried corn. The seagulls want nothing to do with the corn. Nothing to do with it. If I feed them corn, once they realize it's corn, they're like, bah, let's get out of here. Ain't nothing here. But the Cheerios, they will fight the ducks to get the Cheerios. So I probably should just stick with the corn, huh? Sounds like that's what I should do. But I don't think that the ducks enjoy the corn as much as the Cheerios. So, and the Cheerios are obviously just easier. You know, I just keep a box of them in the outside little container that I have. It's easier to just throw them. The corn leaves a little film of corn dust all over you. I get it all over my shirt. I get it all over my hands. But I have a bunch of corn, so I'm going to switch to the corn. Like I said, the ducks really haven't been coming around much. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if there's been some kind of, word on the street or word on the water that this is not the house to come to anymore. I've seen a couple of babies. I posted a picture of one mama with her babies, not last weekend, the weekend before. So, I mean, I see them here and there, but they don't really come by to eat like they used to. And I miss my ducks. I miss them. They're so darn cute. So, I wanted to get to my blog, not my blog post, my topic. And it was based on the fact that I went to the movies yesterday and saw The Lion King. Yes, I know. It is a children's movie. I get that. But when you see somebody come in with a child that can't even walk, are they going to enjoy the movie? Are they going to watch the movie? So as I was waiting in the concession line, I saw this group of people. It was, I think a mom, her mom, so grandmom, and then there was a little boy, a young girl. She was maybe 2 or 3. She was running around a little bit, but she was very loud. She just talked really loud, which, whatever. She calmed down once we got into the movie theater. She every once in a while we would be able to hear her. But the mom was carrying a child. She never put that child down once, so I assumed the child was not old enough to walk. So we go into the movie theater, and the previews are on, and the little one just keeps going, bah, bah, bah. I'm just like, okay, this is disturbing to the other children that are in the theater as well. It's not just children that are, it's not just adults that get annoyed by this kind of stuff. It's ruining the experience for the children as well. So that's why I had put up as my topic, should there be a minimum age for moviegoers? And a lot of people said it depends on the movie. Well, obviously it was a kid's movie, but I still don't think that somebody under 1 is going to sit back and watch a movie. They're just going to be disruptive. There is no way they're sitting through 2 hours of a movie. So, Marcy says, for movies targeted at children, no. For anything PG-13 and over, yes. I remember seeing Schindler's List in the theater, and the people next to us had an infant. Yeah, why are you bringing an infant? That's just being selfish. You want to go to the movies, you don't want to get a sitter, or you can't find a sitter, so you take an infant. She says that they kept having to get up, taking turns, taking the baby outside. I had 2 kids, and I didn't go to the movies if I didn't have a sitter unless it was a kid's movie. Now, I will tell you this. The people that I'm talking about from yesterday did leave about halfway through the movie because they were at least, polite enough to try and calm the baby down from doing the screaming. She would get up and go in the back of the theater. Sometimes she would leave the theater, come back. And I guess she finally just gave up. She was just like, all right, let's just go. Let's just go. Which, bravo. I think that was the right thing to do.